A good Wednesday evening. I'm sorry this is late, but I know some of you have been asking for more information about Hurricane Matthew and the effects here. And as I hinted at yesterday, things were changing and there was a lot of disagreement. And I do not think we're really going to have any direct effects here. Haven't really thought there was going to be any, but this is going to be a bad storm in the southeastern United States, and I know some of you are interested in that. It is a major hurricane. It sustained winds last report at 8 o'clock, which was a while ago. A new one will come out here before WTAJ News at 11. It is a Category 3 storm. It is going to be moving through the Bahamas, maybe going to Category 4 before approaching the Florida coastline. Now, the cone of uncertainty does cover all the way interior Florida, but for the most part, I think, and the models agree, this is going to hug the coastline and then get left behind and stay in the southeastern United States. Let's look at the models. Here we go. This is the European model. This is Thursday morning, Thursday evening. Look at all the strong winds approaching the Florida coastline during the night, tomorrow night. And the strongest winds, fortunately, on a storm moving northward like that is going to be out over the open water. And you can see the bulk of the winds more over the water than on shore. But it's still going to be a devastating storm. Horrible. And it's going to go right over Cape Canaveral, and that's where Florida juts out a little bit. So this is going to be a big issue, and the water just north of the storm is just going to be shoved up against the coastline. You're going to have coastal flooding all the way along the track. Now, the European here does take the system and keeps it just off the Georgia coastline and tries to bring it on Charleston and move it all the way almost up to Myrtle Beach before taking it out to sea. And then we have to watch to see if it will loop all the way back again. Now, the European now says, no, it's going to go back out to sea. But there are other models that show differently. Here we go. This is the GFS. Still takes it, and again, major storm right along the Florida coastline. Now the GFS brings it slightly inland. That would weaken the storm a touch bit, but still very devastating. I mean, we haven't had anything like this in Florida for a while. Let's hope something changes, because the damage is just going to be unbelievable if this storm just travels all the way along the coastline. And the Cape Canaveral area, where it juts out there, it's going to get hit very hard. Now, the GFS takes it along the Georgia coastline, keeps it a little farther away from South Carolina. And keep in mind, the strongest winds will always be offshore on this. That's a blessing, but a small blessing. This is still a strong storm. And the devastation along the coastline is just it's almost unspeakable. And then the GFS actually tries to take a second run at Florida with it. Now, as I mentioned here before, we're not really going to have any effects from this. There is a front approaching from the west. And here's the front. This is Friday evening. And what I worry about is a little moisture just getting siphoned up, and we'll have just a little bit of rain and drizzle Friday night. And yeah, that could mean for the football games on into Saturday. The GFS doesn't have too much. European and a couple of other models bring a little more rainfall with that front. But then it clears us and we have a new area of high pressure move in. And if the storm locks off the southeast coastline, we're going to go back right into what I always classify as the zone of niceness, that subsidence zone. And we're going to have some dry weather next week, which, again, we've had a lot of dry weather. So something we're going to be keeping an eye on. I'll have the latest on Matthew and our weather forecast tonight on WTAJ News at 11.